What a stupid son.
So much for promising to unite the country.
It would be almost comical if it wasn't so scary and wasn't so sad.
If Donald Trump would have said this, they will be talking about this all day long, all tomorrow, and they will put in articles of impeachment for him for saying this to a reporter.
And this is the second time in a week that a Fox News White House correspondent has been derided and castigated by the President of the United States.
Something happened today. I'm a little bit jealous because it didn't happen to me. We'll set it up this way. Remember what Joe Biden said on his first day in office? Roll it.
But I'm not joking when I say this. If you're ever working with me and I hear you treat another colleague with disrespect, talk down to someone, I promise you I will fire you on the spot. On the spot.
Well, Joe might not realize it, but he's fired. Listen.
Will you take questions on inflation? Do you think inflation is a political liability?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a...
Sleepy Joe out here cussing out reporters. If Trump did this, they have his head. How does this old man get away with this stuff? That's very disrespectful. Remember they said he is going to unite America. He is the uniter in chief. No, he's not. He's the divider in chief. He is dividing. Donald Trump may have called them fake news. He didn't call them s.o.b.s. S.o.b. in front of the world.
But what's crazy about this is in the longer version of the clip, there was a group of reporters that were all gathered. We listened to him explain the Competition Council, which is the reason that he's having this meeting with most of the cabinet. And somebody shouted out a question about Russia, and the president said, I'm not going to take questions right now about anything off topic. So I shouted out something that's not on my 2 pages of questions about crime. Okay, what about inflation? Do you think inflation is a political liability in the midterms? And then he said that, and I couldn't even hear him because people were shouting at us to get out. But somebody came up to me in the briefing room a few minutes later and said, did you hear what the president said? And I said, no, what? They said, he called you a stupid S.o.b. And I said, did he say S.o.b.? And the person said, no.
The president can't say that.
They're working overtime tonight on social media, I'm sure, with the whataboutism and Trump, et cetera. And this is the second time in a week that a Fox News White House correspondent has been derided and castigated by the President of the United States.
Yeah, Jackie Heinrich.
Jackie Heinrich. I hate Twitter, but I had tweeted out that Jackie was accused of asking a, quote, stupid question. It was an excellent and timely question about sanctions against Russia. And there, President Biden called her question stupid. Here, he called the actual reporter stupid. But this is a guy who, in that same NBC News poll, Jesse, is seen as no longer easygoing and likable. So his personal attributes have created, along with job approval of these major issues. And this is a guy, remember he said he'd like to take Donald Trump out behind the high school gymnasium and punch him in the nose. So this is a guy with a terrible temper. He's not taking happy pills on the weekends in Wilmington, clearly.
Well, you know, the White House and the communications officials here had been signaling last week when they had their first year in office anniversary that they were going to take a different approach with reporters. And we thought that that meant after he did the 2-hour press conference, oh, well, he's just going to be available for Q&A more often. But maybe it's more stuff like this.
Of course, the truth is that Joe has a history of uttering profanities on and behind live microphones. Roll the tape. 2010, and Joe was caught telling then-President Barack Obama that passing the Affordable Care Act was a big effing deal.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States of America, Barack Obama.
I don't know what they mean by hot mic. It ain't nothing hot about what he said except for what he said. I don't know what y'all calling hot mics these days, but they ain't a hot mic. Maybe a hot take, but it ain't no hot mic. He's senile. His brain is deteriorating, and he's now saying things that he don't know what he's saying.
What terrifies me most about this, and look, it would be almost comical if it wasn't so scary and wasn't so sad. You look at the state of the world at the moment, you look at Ukraine, you look at Russia, you look at China. He's the leader of the free world. It's not like he was walking away and got picked up by a reporter's mic. It's not like he thought he'd switched off a mic. He was standing directly in front of a lectern, and it was almost like he was sitting at home thinking he was sitting next to Jill and saying about someone on TV that you could say to your partner, God, what a son of a beat. It is terrifying. He is not well. His presidency so far has been a complete failure, complete shambles. No wonder he doesn't do any media. The only person who's almost done less is Reagan, and they pulled him back after an assassination attempt. It is just another example of how incompetent he is.
Yeah, Jenna, I mean, this is the thing, right? And dare I invoke what I said back at the start of the show, right? If you think just get rid of the current government and it doesn't matter what replaces them, look at what's happening in the United States. I have no doubt 80 million people voted to get rid of Donald Trump. But when you don't actually think about what you replace it with, look what happens.
He's just a walking, talking liability for his own party and for his country, more so now than ever before. And this is why we have the possibility of war in the Ukraine and possibly in Taiwan. The likes of China, Russia and Iran see the US as weak because it's just got an incompetent and mistake-riddled president. And a weak American leader is seen as a prime opportunity for rogue and ambitious nations.